Hi everybody, my name's Trudy. I'm the owner of One Grounded Angel, and I'm here to do a weekly angel card reading for the week beginning Monday the 16th of December through to the 22nd of December 2019. So this video is designed to give you an overview of what's potentially coming up this week. So I'm shuffling the cards, angel cards, and getting a different card for the week. So usually a card jumps out at me, as just happened. I don't know how well you saw that. Sometimes I just get kind of an instinct I need to stop. But anyway, this card has jumped out and it's a card called Round and Round. So there's a sense that you might be going round in circles, and the best way to stop that pattern, if it's happening for you, is to think about why things are repeating. Generally things repeat because they have not been healed. So if you keep attracting the same type of person, the same type of friend who keeps treating you the same way, there's something going on there. Why are you attracting that? What is it within you that is reaching for something that you don't actually want? And why is that something that is attracted to you? Remember, under the law of attraction, that like equals like attracts like. You're attracting something because it reflects something within you. If you're attracting situations where you keep getting abandoned, it is probably in response to some sort of idea in your energy, some sort of wounding that everybody I love leaves me. So perhaps you were abandoned as a child in some way and that's come up for you. Or perhaps it's something like you keep attracting situations where you are betrayed, and maybe that goes back to some sort of situation where you were cheated on and you haven't really, even though you might think, oh, it's ancient history, I don't even think about that anymore. Somewhere in your energy that has sowed the seeds for you to take on the belief that I can't trust people. And so you will attract people you can't trust, or you will struggle to trust them, even if they are trustworthy. So that gives you an idea of what this card is all about. It's asking you to free yourself from where you might be going round in circles. And I think on that was a very sort of energetic level. I think on a more surface level as well, at this time of year, many of us feel like we're going round in circles, chasing our tails, not getting anything done. Perhaps that's because you're trying to do too much. Really look at the way you're investing your time and energy at this time of year. Are you running around and round and not really getting anything out of it? You're not feeling any sense of satisfaction, you're not feeling happy, you're just trying to get through the days. Make some better choices. If that's the case for you, make some better choices about how you respond to situations, how you use your time, and what your expectations are. And here's a nice segue, Tuesday's card, Ishtar, boundaries. Okay, so boundaries are, there's a lot of different ways it might show up, but primarily it's about saying no to things that do not serve you. If you are saying yes to something out of a sense of obligation, stop right there, honey, because you do not win any medals for satisfying other people's demands or expectations. Oh, I really should go to this Christmas party I've been invited to because it'll look bad if I'm not there. Who cares? Who cares how it looks? If you don't want to go, don't go, honestly. Unless there's a very specific reason, like it's your family and you have to put in an appearance for a while. But just think about setting some better boundaries. Don't let yourself be emotionally blackmailed by people who have preyed on you because you've got something going on in your energy where some sort of imprint where you think you're responsible for other people's energy, other people's emotions. That's something you might like to look at if that's the case for you. Honestly, the biggest problem people have with boundaries is they think they're doing people a favour. They think it's a good thing to let people treat them badly. They think it's because they're too nice. I'm too nice. Honestly, if I had $1 for every time I've heard that. There's no such thing as being too nice. What you think of as being too nice is really just a lack of boundaries, because you're saying yes to other people and no to yourself, and that means that you're giving and not letting anyone help you. It means that you are self-sacrificing, and no one is here to sacrifice themselves. There are no rewards for being a martyr, no matter what you might have been told. This is often a problem for women. So really rethink what's going on there. It's not that you're too nice. It's because you are struggling to say yes to yourself, and sometimes that's because a lack of self-worth is going on. You don't think you deserve love and care. Sometimes it's because you think that you are responsible for other people's emotions. Sometimes it's because you are afraid that you don't deserve love, and therefore if you say no to this person, there'll be consequences. They'll reject you, and you need to you need to keep this toxic kind of dynamic going, because that's the only way you're going to get any kind of have any kind of relationship. So I'm going in deep here. I do that a lot. I'm an energy healer. I'm not interested in looking at the superficial. I'm a Scorpio as well, so there's that. So I'm telling you, if you want to fix a toxic habit, you need to look at what's going on underneath, because otherwise it'll just keep coming up for you. It's not just knowing that this isn't right for me is not enough. You need to look at why it's happening, because there's a gap between what we know logically and what we do, and that's often because of what's going on in our energy. So Wednesday, shield yourself, the soul caper. We've had this so many times, haven't we, over the past couple of weeks. It's because the energy is intense at the moment, and you need to protect yourself. Not spending time with people who are toxic, not engaging in other people's dramas, not spending time with people who are negative, who are bringing you down, who are draining. Just really set some good boundaries there. You can see the relationship between Tuesday and Wednesday's card there. The other thing is protecting your energy, because every time you go into a crowded environment, you're going to be potentially picking up other people's energies, be it a shopping mall, public transport. So you might like to shield yourself, and you can do that just by asking Archangel Michael to place an energetic shield around you. It's very easy, very important to protect your energy. Thursday. Receiving from angels. It's interesting, I just mentioned the word receiving before when I was talking about that self-sacrifice. And what's going on in this card is, well, two things. One is about the universe often, let me start this again. Sometimes people ask for help, pray, manifest, all the likes of that sort of thing, but then they feel like the solution's just not showing up for them. And sometimes it's because the solution has shown up, but they haven't been willing to accept it. And there can be lots of reasons for that. One might be low self-worth. They feel like, oh, I've got this great opportunity, but I'm not good enough for it, or I don't deserve that. So they've asked for, help with their financial situations. A great financial opportunities come up. Oh no, I'll screw that up. I can't do that. So that's something that can come up sometimes. Sometimes it's because they haven't realized that the help has come in the form of other people. The universe often works for other people, and they've said no out of misplaced pride or shame. Pride's usually fear in disguise, and shame is a whole new level of energetic trauma. So pride is something, it looks like a virtue. It's not. It's fear in disguise, because you're trying to protect yourself from being too dependent on other people and therefore being hurt. Excuse me. Or it can also be masking self-worth issues, as I said. So that might be what's going on. Perhaps you're not letting yourself, the card is really asking you to receive the blessings. It could be also you're not recognizing the blessings that are already in your life. So some gratitude can help you with that. But it could also be, as I mentioned earlier, about receiving from other people, in terms of love needs to flow in both directions. We need to be able to give it, we need to receive it as well. So please don't think there's any virtue in exhausting yourself, meeting everyone else's needs, and depriving yourself of receiving any love, which can come in the form of compliments. If you're batting away compliments from other people, that's often a sign you're not willing to receive good things or blessings. Not asking other people for advice, not talking to them when you're struggling, and asking for support. And equally, it can go the other way as well. We see this sometimes. Everybody knows that person who's always calling out for help. I'm not coping with this, I need help with this. And they're not willing to kind of figure things out for themselves. And that can be, they're receiving too much and not giving enough. And that's also an unhealthy situation to be. But this is more looking at receiving. And the sorts of people who attract that last group tend to be the ones who are interested in or invested in self-sacrificing and overgiving, because they're trying to avoid dealing with their own issues, or because they've got that programming of I have to help everybody else, otherwise I'm not a good person. So again, self-worth comes up all the time with everything, really, self-worth, and there's a lot of different reasons for that. So yeah, you might like to look at this card in terms of, am I receiving love? It might not be necessarily about support from the universe. So yeah, as I said, compliments, advice, support, could be practical help. If you are struggling financially and someone offers you money and you say no, that might be a sign that there's some sort of block there. I just dramatically dropped the entire card deck, so I'm getting the idea this is not the right card deck for Friday's card. So let's go. Okay. Okay, Friday, relationship. The thing I always point out with this card is the way the angel is coming out of the woods. Are we out of the woods yet, to use Taylor Swift? So it speaks to coming out of a dark period or a period of uncertainty in your romantic relationship. This is primarily about romantic relationships rather than platonic or professional or anything like that, and moving into the light. So there's a unicorn here. Unicorns symbolize miracles. So if you're in a difficult spot with your relationship, the first thing I would say to you is believe that things can change and things can improve. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be perfect. It might mean that sometimes things need to shift in order for you to let go, whatever it is, but you're not going to stay in this period of uncertainty or despair for that much longer. So you need to be hopeful of change. If you have a history of being in destructive relationships, it might be that's why you're struggling to be optimistic. Again, there could be some clearing that needs to happen there around your energy. So you need to be able to believe that things can get better, and you need to look at what you need to do as well. Remember, nothing's ever given to us on the platter. We need to be willing to do the work. So if you want things to improve, what do you need to do to get there? Maybe you need to be honest about the ways you're struggling and, you know, what you need to do. Maybe you need to look at counselling or couples counselling or something like that. Now, if you're single, please don't think this card doesn't relate to you. If you are single, the best thing to do is look at your relationship with yourself. I know it is totally cliched to say you can't have a good relationship with anyone if you don't have a good relationship with yourself, but it is a cliche for a reason. It's true. So I don't advocate for loving yourself because I think that's just too great a leap for people to focus on. What I focus on instead is, or suggest instead, is laying down your weapons against yourself. So looking at the ways you speak to yourself. If you're constantly running yourself down, calling yourself horrible names, bagging yourself out for your appearance, going, oh, I'm not good enough, I don't look like this person, I never, do stuff like this, I'm not. Although comparison can be a huge problem and a huge indicator that we're not, we've got an unhealthy relationship with ourselves. Because when you're at peace with yourself, you're not interested in what other people are doing, because you can recognize that they're on their own journeys and you're on your own, and there's no kind of right or wrong or better or worse. It's not a race. So look at your relationship with yourself, whether you're running yourself down, as I said, whether you're neglecting yourself. That can be a big one in terms of your health and well-being, perhaps even on a practical level in terms of giving yourself enough sleep, taking care of yourself through physical activity and nutrition. It could even be showing up for that, because those are acts of self-care. And treating yourself, doing nice things for yourself, those sorts of things. If you want to attract a relationship in which you are cared for, you need to be willing to care for yourself. If you are treating yourself badly, you're probably going to attract a partner who will do the same. I know it's not quite as linear as that, or as black and white and specific like that, but I am speaking in general terms, but because I'm speaking to the way that energy in general does work, but there are always complications as well, and we've all got different life experiences. Saturday, eternal love. So I'm going to read the message. I don't always do this, but in this case, help me receive all of the love that surrounds me so that I can feel safe receiving, expressing and giving love. So what I said earlier about needing to be able to express love and to let love flow through us, that means we need to be willing to express it by giving it in equal measure as what we are receiving it. There are times in which we will need more from other people than what we're willing to give, but that should be a short term. Eventually, and there will be times when Perhaps you've got a partner who's sick and you need to give more to them. But the balance shouldn't stay wildly out of balance like that forever, otherwise you've got some issues to look at. So what else do I need to tell you? I think in a larger sense, this card is also about the universal love. So when we know that we're loved and supported by the universe, we're better able to take risks because, and when I say risks, I don't mean wildly extreme risks. I mean, we're better able to step out of our comfort zone and to take the steps, the leaps of faith that we need to take. That was a theme last week. Because we're able to trust that the universe will work with us, and that if things don't go our way, we will have the support to deal with that. So you might like to look at the love of the universe and looking at whether you feel like you're loved, whether you feel like you're taken care of, your needs are met. Those are the sorts of things I tackle in energy healing, because when we don't have those, that means we generally don't feel safe in the world. We don't feel like we are lovable. We might not feel like we are capable of being intimate in relationships because we don't feel that the love is there to support us and that the love will be reciprocated. And we might feel that the way other people treat us is indicative of our value in the world, when in fact our value is related to our connection to spirit. It's not connected to the way other people treat us. So I'm speaking very generally there, but I think that love is something that we automatically go to that romantic kind of connotation, but it can also have that wider application as well about the love of the universe, and whether that's because we're generally in love or we're in fear. I think we can be neutral. I don't know that many spiritual kind of experts would agree with me. I'm not an expert, by the way, but I think that if we're in fear, it's keeping us away from love, and we might like to look at how we can move closer to love. I love that quote by Rumi. The task is not to reach for love, it's to move all the barriers in the way of us being, of us having love. And so, how are we protecting ourselves when we don't need to? How are we creating drama in relationships because we're scared of intimacy, for example? How are we avoiding saying what we need to say? Sunday's card, patience, perennial favourite here. It's never not relevant, this card, certainly for me, and I would say for a lot of you as well. We are so used to getting what we want at the click of our fingers now, the click of our fingers, I should say, or the click of the mouse even. Like, everything can be found out pretty quickly. And we're so wired now to get what we want right away. We're not used to waiting anymore, and the fact is, generally things that are worth waiting for, they take time, so they're worth the wait. And we need to remember that things that are lasting, things that are sustainable, things that are going to have profound differences in our lives take time. And we need to remember that just because it isn't happening right away does not mean it's never going to happen. So do not mistake your present for your future. Be patient, keep doing the work, super important. Don't sit around waiting for it. Keep doing the work, but keep the faith as well. Know that it's going to happen, and really hold space for that hope. So looking at the week, I would say setting boundaries against toxic behaviour is going to be absolutely huge this week, as well as, if not toxic behaviour, then energy that is frenetic or full of stress and drama. Really isolate yourself from that. And healing is huge with this round and round, and excuse me, sorry, I keep trying to stifle a cough and it's not going well. I think, this boundary stuff can certainly be related to your own healing journey. Love is huge this week in terms of the way we're able to receive it or not, the way we express it, our stuff that we bring to relationships, and whether we're able to be optimistic about love and in love, or whether we're constantly in self-protection mode. And I'm not saying that you should be totally reckless in matters of the heart. I'm just saying that when you're over vigilant, you're really holding yourself back from that deep level connection that we all need as humans. So that's it for the week. These go on my social media every day, which you probably already know, but in case you didn't, my Instagram is @OneGroundedAngel. My Facebook page is called One Grounded Angel. My YouTube channel is called One Grounded Angel. And my website, funnily enough, is also onegroundedangel.com. You can find me there, and you can also find out more information about the sort of one-on-one healing work that I do if you really are interested in going deeper to make lasting, profound change in your life, and also information on there about personal angel card readings. If this is too general for you, a personal reading could be more helpful to you. So that's the way to do it. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I will be back next week to read for you again. Take care.